Hi, I'm Rob from Red String Bows, and I wanted to show you a couple of bows that are available now from Made in Stroud. There are two versions, a smaller 4-foot bow and a larger 5-foot bow. The 4-foot bow is good for people up to about 4 foot 3 inches, that's 130 centimeters, or around about age 7 or 8. If you are over those dimensions or ages, it's the 5-foot bow that you should take with you. So these are primarily oak bows. The versions in Made in Stroud have a purple heart handle section in the middle here, and also purple heart tip overlays on the ends. Purple heart is a really gorgeous hardwood purple, a deep plum maybe in colour, but these are, otherwise the design is exactly the same. These are what we call American longbow styles, or flat bows, because they are flat and they are long compared to other bows. And I just want to run you through a bit of health and safety, care and maintenance, and also how-tos, how to string them, how to shoot them. So health and safety stuff, first and foremost, don't ever point an arrow at anything that is not a legitimate target. So that includes living beings, windows, cars, property, anything like that. When these arrows go, they really fly. Now they are supplied with blunt ends, these rubber blunts. That doesn't make them safe, it makes them less dangerous. These are still hard, they still pack a punch, so they are not playthings, they are sporting items. I would suggest shooting at tin cans, clay pots, things like that. You could suspend a biscuit tin lid from a tree by a piece of rope if you wanted a dynamic target. That's good fun. But never allow your arrows to leave your property or the piece of land on which you have permission to shoot. Now, having said that, if you have proper archery targets or access to proper archery targets, I have supplied with these brass points. These arrows have them already on underneath the rubber tips. Yours don't, they're bare shafts. You take the points and you screw them on real nice and tight. But otherwise, unless you've got an archery target, unless you've got a specific target, keep the blunts on. It's so much safer. And be aware that if you take the blunts off and put the points on, the arrows will absolutely fly much faster, much further, and with much more penetrative force. So be sure to know what you're doing. Okay, how do we string a bow? Well, firstly, if you're not using it, it should be unstrung. It takes the stress out of the wood and it stops it getting what we call set, which is a permanent curve in the bow, which is not what we want. So, when you are wanting to use your bow, I think you can see the profile here. When you would shoot this, the handle is facing towards you and the string is facing towards you. Okay, when you string the bow, this is what you do. You make sure that the bottom string is already in the loop, in the knock it's called, in the knocking point down there in the string groove. Okay, then you face the bow away from you, the opposite way to that you would be holding it when you shoot. You lightly rest the bottom tip against the inside of your shoe, but you're not jamming it into the ground, okay? Just resting it against the ground into the arch of your foot there. You take the handle in your left hand, and with your right hand, what you're going to do is you're going to put the heel of your right hand most of the way along the top limb, just so that you have room to take the string with your thumb and forefinger. What you're going to do next is you're going to pull the handle towards you, at the same time push with this hand and slide this string up into this top knock here. So here we go. Into the arch of my foot, hold with one hand, rest the heel of the other hand against the top limb of the bow, pinch the string, finger, fourth thumb, pull and push simultaneously. Oh, here we go, do that again. Pull and push simultaneously until the string sits nice and tightly into that top groove. You have a strung bow at that point. To de-string the bow, exactly the same in reverse. In it goes to your foot, hold at the handle, push, and then flick that up with your finger and take it off like that. With the shorter bows, let me show you that quickly, because it can be a bit fiddly getting down here if you're little. So what you can do instead is you can have it in at your knee. The tip can go in at your knee or your thigh or thereabouts. Same procedure, pull with this hand, push with this hand, up goes the string, into the groove. There it is, sits nicely in the groove all the way around, and that bow is now also strung. So there we go. Right, how to shoot a bow. I'm going to show you the big one. Okay, here we go. So I'm assuming that, well, this is for right-handed archers. If you are a left-handed archer, you need to reverse the operations of everything that I'm going to say at this point. You hold the bow just below that arrow rest in your left hand. Here is your arrow. What do you notice about the arrow? It's got an odd coloured fletching. This is called the cock feather, the odd one out. These two are called hen feathers. Okay, that's there to show you how to orientate the arrow in your bow. The arrow rests, if you're right-handed, on the left-hand side of the stud, left-hand side of the bow, and you take the cock feather up in the air, yeah? And then you slide your arrow onto the string between the two brass points. When you're ready to shoot, you stand 90 degrees onto your target. You're going to hold the bow more or less out straight. You're going to keep it a bit of an angle, see, like that? Or it would be like this for you. It's going to be cocked over to about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Just stops the arrow from falling off. If you have it too upright, it can fall off really easily. So just keep a little angle on it like this. You're going to take 3 fingers from your right hand, and all 3 go underneath, just underneath the arrow like that. Just down to, you know, the first joint maybe, or even on the tips actually is what you want. Okay, 90 degrees onto your target, slight angle, left arm out straight, right arm comes right back to your chin like this. Now, what is important is that you do not bring this rubber point here past the stud rest on the bow, otherwise you will overstretch the bow and it will snap. But you can bring the arrow right the way back otherwise, okay? And when you are ready to shoot, all you're going to do is you're going to let these fingers just go limp. That's the best I can tell you. And this arrow is going to fly. Here we go, you ready? So that's how you shoot a bow. Wear long sleeves because the string can slap into your arm. It's unlikely, but it can do. And if that does happen, it can really hurt. So yeah, long sleeves, I would suggest, is what you want there. We're done with the bow now. We're going to de-string it. So the same process in reverse. In it goes, heel, push, flip that off, done. Okay. Other than that, there's not much to say about their care and maintenance. They don't need an awful lot, other than don't put them right by radiators, don't leave them near damp or sort of, you know, windy, fluctuating temperature windows, anything like that. Don't put them in greenhouses, but basically just keep them in your room, you know, normally in the corner of your bedroom or whatever, up on a shelf, something like that. Have loads of fun with them. I really enjoy making these. These are all made by hand, mainly with hand tools. I use a saw for a little bit of the roughing out to make the blanks, but otherwise it's block planes and card scrapers and rasps to get them all down to size. I hope you enjoy them. I hope you enjoy using them as much as I enjoy making them. Available now. Made in Stroud. Enjoy.